Okay, are we ready to get freaking organized? Hey y'all, it's Ava here. Welcome back to my channel, the party, the vibes. I first want to apologize for the lack of videos since Thanksgiving. I've been trying really hard to stick to a general recording and streaming schedule starting this year. But, yeah, the state of the world around me has made it very hard to find motivation or feel like anything I do online is worthwhile and not somehow endangering me. But you know how it is. It has also made it very hard to do the creative things I love, like making videos and writing scripts, but it's also made it difficult to do my makeup with any regularity. And beyond just doing my makeup, it's become harder to keep my collection organized and, keep everything as a live wire in my makeup mind space. I had this little ritual I was doing every month or so in which I would go through my makeup and kinda do a shop my stash of it. I choose makeup to focus on from little bits of the collection at a time. But now I haven't touched my makeup in any real capacity in quite a few weeks. Because, the mental health of it all has made it very tough. And that box of makeup I last selected has gotten stale and stayed relatively untouched since before Christmas. So I think that means it's time to select a new box. And I just wanted to spend today showing you guys the process I usually go through around every month trying to select my makeup. I'm filming this not only to attempt to get reorganized, but also in the efforts of getting reacquainted with my collection and trying to spark my love of beauty again, because I need the joy it brings me now more than ever. This kind of thing does flow in phases for me, though. I go through very minimal phases with makeup, and I go through intense love affairs with it. Back and forth until the end of time. That's just how it works with me. But I hope today to not only film myself doing my little ritual of picking out a box of makeup to focus on and show you what that looks like, but like I said, I hope I can spark my excitement for this kind of thing again by filming it and editing it and just talking about it with you guys. So, if you want to watch me organize my makeup today, I will encourage you to stick around and hang with me, maybe organize your own. Remember to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoy this sort of content. And without further ado, I will see you guys at my dining table, ready to organize. So, here we are at the table, ready to go through my makeup mess and organize a bit. Let me know, by the way, if this, view is okay for this style of video. I know you can't really see me or absolutely everything that will be on the table, but it's not a huge deal. I'm not trying to do close-up footage of my products anyway. I just wanted you guys to feel like you're kind of here with me, like you're looking over my shoulder while I do this sort of organization. So, I brought out 3 receptacles, 3 containers, in which makeup will be held or is already being held. One of them you have seen before. It's my entire makeup case. Like I said in my inventory video I made near the beginning of last year, I try to never outgrow this case. I try to keep all of my makeup collection contained in here, with the exception of eyeshadow palettes and setting sprays. This case is where all of my makeup originates and where it all returns to when I'm done with it. This pretty box here is what I'm gonna call my Shop My Stash box. This is the box in which I put the makeup I want to focus on over the course of around a month. And as you can see, if I open it up, it is pretty full and messy on the inside right now. This is also where I stick anything new I get in a cycle. So when I acquire new makeup, I usually put it right into this box and add it to my rotation, kind of regardless of what's already in there, to really get acquainted with it and make sure I love it before finding room for it in the case and considering it like a permanent member of the family, Yeah, I tend to put just whatever I can see myself wanting to use over the course of a few weeks to a month in this box. I basically try to supply at least one option for every potential step in my routine in this box at a time. And if I only have one product in a category, like powder for example, I will tend to keep that product cycled in the box, even when I switch out the rest of the contents for a new box. Finally, I have this little bag here. I actually got this bag with a merit order I placed on Black Friday. You get their signature bag with every first order. This is a really nice bag, and this is going to serve as the place for my, easiest, minimal, everyday favorites. The most effortless daily stuff will be the first thing I reach for in most cases, so I'm going to keep this bag easily accessible to me on the daily for the occasions I want to put a little bit of something on. In those occasions in which I want to go more the distance, the box is where I'll go for that. So basically, the process is, for daily look stuff, like my staples, I'll refer to whatever is in the bag first. Then, if I want to spice things up or use something extra that I picked out, I go to the Shop My Stash box. And if I really need something I, for some reason, didn't bring out for this rotation, I refer to the case as needed. So there's currently nothing in the bag because I haven't used this bag for much yet. There's a ton of stuff in the box, and I've got the rest of my collection in the case, which I think I'm going to go ahead and open up now. Hee hee hee. Okay, I think we're ready to start into this. The first thing I want to do is go through my Shop My Stash box from this past rotation, and I want to just start from scratch, like clear everything out of it. And I also want to give my thoughts on the stuff I used or didn't use while I put it all away. I want to verbalize my thoughts on this stuff because it will really help me get a clear picture of the things I'm loving and using a lot, versus a lot of stuff that I might put in the box and then forget about, because that stuff is always open to decluttering, and sometimes talking through my reasoning is what I need to hit that spark and declutter things if necessary. And we're definitely doing a little bit of decluttering today. I feel the emotional power within me to let go of some stuff today. So bear with me while I potentially ramble about all the random shit that's in this box, okay? There's kind of a lot in here right now, but don't worry, we are gonna pare things down. We just need to get it empty for now so we can start fresh. Okay, I think with all that out of the way, I'm ready to get started. Let's talk palettes first. There are 3 in here. I find that my sweet spot in terms of the number of palettes I put in this box with the intention of using all of them is about 3. I usually go for like 2 medium to larger size palettes and 1 smaller one. But I have significantly less smaller palettes, so sometimes I skip it or I just add another larger palette instead. So the first palette I have in here is Sigma Cool Neutrals. I bought this one as a gift to myself around Thanksgiving because it was on like a crazy sale, and I do quite enjoy it. I've actually used this one a lot in the time I've had it. These tones are just hitting me where I live recently. I do like how they're not all cool tones, like there's obviously some warm tones in here as well. And they're very delicious warm tones. They're not just like basic warm neutrals. They have some depth to them that I really love. I'm definitely keeping this, but I'm taking it out of the box because I've had it in here for way too long. I'm just gonna put it over here for now. I also put my favorite palette of all time in this box recently, ABH Soft Glam. I cannot express how much I still love this palette. It's getting to be very old in my collection, but it still works pretty well for me. So that being said, I don't know if I used this at all in the past rotation. Maybe once actually. I think I definitely used this at least once. This has become more of a special occasion palette to me than it is an everyday palette, which is like something I absolutely need to break the habit of, because this palette means too much to me to only use it for the everyday or for special occasions. These colors are also warm neutrals, like anyone can wear this for every day. It's the whole point of it. But the warm tones are very much still my vibe. The shimmers are some of the best I have. I still adore this palette with my whole heart. I need to break it out again and use it before it just becomes unusable. It's truly my all-time favorite. The tiny palette I put into the box, I know I actually did use quite a bit during this last rotation, which is shocking because I'm not much of a quad girly. This is a random ColourPop quad that I got as a little freebie. It's called the Sparkler quad. Yeah, it's called Sparkler. I think this was like a 4th of July freebie or something. And it's like the most boring quad imaginable, but it works so well for the types of looks I've been motivated to do recently. I do love neutrals, don't get me wrong, and recently this has been like the only thing I've wanted to put on my eyes if I want to wear eyeshadow. It just makes a very quick and nice smoky eye or a nice eyeshadow wing. It's well pigmented. I don't know. This, I think, barely counts as a full palette in the box, I've decided. If I want to include this in future rotations, I'm probably going to include it as its own thing, right? Instead of counting it against the number of palettes I put in. I don't know, for being a little ColourPop freebie, it does work well, but it's going to exit the box right now. I think that's my 3 palettes from this last round. Let's talk about other eye stuff real quick. I have 3 of these guys. These are the Merit Matte Solo Shadows. I bought 2 more of these since my makeup collection video. That's how I got the signature bag here. So I have Studio, which is this like neutral brown, Social, which is this neutral mauve, and the one I already had was Viper, this deep green. These really have been my daily jam. I feel like I've barely even considered powder eyeshadow since getting these. All these colors are very neutral on me. They're absolutely bulletproof. I can't get enough of them, honestly. They'll go back in the case for now, but I will probably end up pulling these guys out again after we're done here. I also have like all 4 of my ColourPop Super Shocks in here. The 2 I already owned is Ritz and Ice Dream, but my best friend bought 2 others for her Halloween costume that she then passed on to me for Christmas, because she's not really into makeup casually. So now I have 4. The 2 I got are Tassel and Dream Much. I definitely didn't wear any of these besides Ritz during this last rotation. But when I do wear Super Shocks, these are the types of colors I like. Either like a very neutral sparkle or kind of a like cool, kind of iridescent tone sparkle. They are a very effortless and impactful product though, so these are going to go back in the case, but will maybe return to the box at some point. We will see. The problem is going to be finding a place for them. Oh god. They don't quite all fit in there perfectly, but that'll have to do for now. I have this About Face holographic eye paint in here in the shade Lucid Dream. While I do love products like this in theory, in practice this has basically never been worn. It's a cool reflective thing to put all over the eyes. I mean, like, can I even swatch it? No, the shit's dried out. The shit is basically completely dried out. It's cool to put all over the lids or like make a wing with it. You can kind of see it flips like green to pink there. But I've used this maybe like 5 times total, and it never really looked as impactful as I wanted it to. Like I said, this is also old, and this kind of product doesn't last a very long time, and it probably isn't even eye safe anymore. So I think I'm just gonna have to toss this guy. It's a shame that it didn't get a lot of use, because you can see it's a very cool reflect here, but it just isn't the type of thing I go for much anymore, so I think I'm gonna end up trashing this. Oh yeah, I always forget that I like to put in these Gavisi cake liners, the retro liners, into like every box. I usually choose between 2 to 4 of these guys to put in, and honestly I rarely use them. I'm not gonna get rid of them though, because I do like collecting them, and it's not like they go bad because they're like a water activated thing. And also when I do a colorful wing, these are the best tool for the job. The ones I had during this rotation is Blue Raspberry here and Marigold. Both very pretty colors. Yeah, they don't get a ton of use, but they're always there in case I need them, so I will keep them in the case. I think finally for eyes, I have a couple eyeliners in here. Both are the NYX Epic Smoke liners. I just have the black and the brown one here. I tend to use these whenever I do feel like doing eye makeup. This isn't very exciting, but these are great eyeliners. Oh, and here is my new mascara of choice, the Judy Doll Curling Iron Mascara. This is an Asian beauty product, and it's like the weirdest mascara I've ever seen, and that's why it's my new favorite, and probably the only one I have ever used with regularity. Let me try to show you. It doesn't have a traditional brush, it's just like a spiky metal bar with product on it. For some reason, this just curls my lashes absolutely beautifully, and it's in this nice brown color, so it doesn't make it too dramatic. I don't know, it's very nice on me. It's like the only mascara I don't get freaked out by putting on. So it's gonna go back in the case from now, but it will inevitably make its way back out because it is my only mascara. Okay, making some progress. I'm gonna get all the lip stuff out now, of which there's quite a bit. Most of it didn't even get worn. The things I did are this Merit Shade Slick lip oil in the shade Mapleton. I got this free with my Merit order on Black Friday. I'm very much a lip oil girl. I love a lip oil as long as it's like actually a nice slick oil. This feels very watery and nice, kind of like more of a treatment as opposed to a sticky gloss that I feel like most oils end up being. This probably got more wear out of anything in this rotation. My lips have been drinking this shit up, and I love it. That's probably going to become an everyday bag option for me, but it's going to go back for now. I also used a lot of the new e.l.f. Glow Reviver lipstick in the shade Tanger Sheen. It's just a beautiful glossy orange. I love it. I haven't had an orange lipstick in quite a while, actually. I used to wear it a lot, but I haven't in a long time. Yeah, this got a ton of wear when I got it. I actually loved wearing it with no eye makeup on, because, you know, it's a color I haven't worn on my lips in a long time. It feels a bit bolder for me than usual now, but it looked beautiful with the Soft Glam palette in use too. Oh my god, it was great. It actually reminds me of something else in here that I have some feelings on, but we'll get to it. Tanger Sheen is going back in the case for now, as are the other lipsticks all in here. Let's see, Chocolate Wasted from Dose of Colors is probably my favorite lipstick of all time. I just can't get enough of this deep, deep, deep brown. I wore this for a single look in this rotation, didn't touch it again after that, which does track for this lip with me. It's just such a strong color. I can't bring myself to wear it daily, even though it is my very favorite. It is also a matte liquid lip, so it is quite drying, and you bet your ass I'm not wearing anything remotely drying in this winter, but it's gonna go back for now. I also have this weird one. This was also a gift from a different friend's Halloween costume. It's from this brand called Girl Cult. I actually love the packaging on this. I don't know the name of the shade, I don't think, but it's this very strange, like, dark gray. It looks really green on the picture, I can tell. It's just got little green sparkle or reflect to it. It's an extremely swampy color. I think I threw this in the box when I got it just to see if I can make it work with it. I tend to enjoy really strange colors on principle. But I don't think I've successfully worn this yet. I do hope to use this someday, but if I don't in the next few months, I'm probably just gonna trash this. It's just a very, very weird and specific color to make work with everything else I have, you know? I also have MAC Stone in here. This is another weird tone lipstick on me by itself. I mean, it's a gorgeous color, isolated, you know? But I like to use this one in particular as a mix to make other weird colors on me, or to grungify ones that are too bright. Because it's such a cool tone grungy lip. I do love it by itself, but I don't wear it by itself very often. I tend to use it a lot with this guy that's also in here, my NARS Air Matte lip color in the shade Lose Control. This color is a pretty rich red on me. I do wear it by itself more than any of the other lipsticks that were in this rotation, but I like mixing it a bit with Stone to make a more like grungy My Lips But Better shade. It's like this really gray muted red. I absolutely love this. Both of those lipsticks are going back in my box for now. I mean, look at this color, it's so pretty, I love it. Yeah, that one is going back in the box for now, but that's one of my default lips for sure, is that combo right there. Okay, there's not much left. Most of what's left in here is complexion and cheek stuff. So first, I'm going to put my powder highlight back in the case. This is the Nabla Skin Glazing in Ozone. It's the absolutely perfect powder highlight, but it hasn't gotten much use out of like our New Year's party. I don't really use powder highlight that much anymore. There we go. I also have two cream highlights in here for some reason. One of them is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Highlight Stick, and one of them is the Tower 28 Super Dew. Tower 28 gets a lot more use. I think this was actually in my bag for a bit because it is the best highlight to use on days when I wear very little other makeup. The e.l.f. one is nice too. It's just more of a like pinky glow than Super Dew, because Super Dew is literally just like a clear Vaseline-y type thing, you tap on your cheeks. Again, they're both nice. I just think the e.l.f. one is more of a like traditional pigmented highlight stick and it's easier to use. But they'll both go back in the box for now. This is hard, but I think I'm going to get rid of my Milk cream bronzer. I know, this little guy and I have some history. I used to have the big size of this guy, maybe got about halfway to 3/4 of the way through it, using it every single day before it went bad. And then they changed this packaging to give you significantly less of the product for the same price. My little one here is also broken, I think. Like, it can't twist this up and down, so I can't get all the product out of it anyway. And beyond that, I've just realized I'm not much into bronzer anymore. Not at least an orangey brown bronzer like this. It's been wonderful for very specific occasions, I will say, but here's the thing. When I want a bronzed effect, this one is just too orange on me. I've learned that I prefer something much on the rosier side, like this. This one here, the NYX Buttermelt bronzer, may not be a cream like the Milk is, but it's just a better color for me to bronze with in general. The NYX bronzer is basically an all-in-one cheek product for me. Honestly, it does blush, bronzer, and gives a tiny bit of a satin glow for my cheeks specifically. I'd rather use this powder than the Milk cream any day, and that's just something you're going to have to accept about me. I had an amazing run with this product in general, but I think I've outgrown it now, and it can leave the collection. NYX bronzer, obviously staying. It's just the best powder bronzer I have. Let's talk blush real quick. I have my 3 mini Merit blushes in here. Bespoke, Stockholm, and Mood. The only one I'm really loving using is Bespoke, honestly. Stockholm is also very pretty, but this is an extremely subtle formula, and this color barely shows up on my skin. Whereas Mood is just very bright and pink on me. I know it looks like a very dark blush, but it ends up looking just like pinky purple on me. I'm keeping all of these because I like them as a set, and I do still have a use for each of them. But the only one I use during this cycle is Bespoke. I also have this Makeup Revolution blush balm in the shade Sunkissed Nude, which funny enough was probably my most used blush product out of all of the ones in my last rotation. This shade is like the perfect natural and beautiful color on my skin. This is also one of those 2-in-1 cheeks for me because it's got a very reflective and glowy finish. So it's kind of a blush and highlight in one for me. I can only put this on with a brush though. Like, don't use your hands to apply this because it just doesn't hold pigment when it's warmed up to your fingers. You have to put it on with the brush. But yeah, I know this is some cheapy peepy blush, but it is undeniably one of my favorites. The finish is just insanely beautiful and natural looking on me personally. I also have my Fenty Beauty Fuego Flush Cream Blush in here. This is the product that Tangerine Sheen reminded me of, because I've honestly been on the fence about this blush for months. Because in theory, I really enjoy this color. I really wanted a yellow-toned orange blush when I got this, and here's the thing. That kind of color just doesn't work well on me, unfortunately. I can only get it from this blush if I very delicately like tap it down with my fingers. But when I do that, the shimmer, the texture of this blush really comes out and makes my skin look really wrong. It's basically just glitter. Like, on me, this blush is basically just glitter. With a brush, the color looks a lot more wearable on me. Like, it doesn't really show up much, though texture is still an issue. Honestly, I keep this around for when I do very warm looks because that's like the only occasion in which I think this looks good on me. It's a beautiful blush, but I just don't think this orangey yellow shimmer color looks right on my skin anymore. I think sadly I'm going to declutter this blush because even though I love it on principle, in practice it just doesn't suit me like I thought it once did. My only powder blush option in this box was my ABH Blush Trio in the shade range Cocktail Party. I don't think it's got any use, y'all, which is miserable because I put it in with the intention of layering these powders on top of my Merit blushes. That layering combo works amazingly together, and I only did it maybe once. Yeah, powder blush doesn't do it for me anymore in general, but this trio from ABH is also pretty old and probably losing its luster. I swatch it and it still swatches nicely, but I do worry it may not have much longer for this world. So I'm gonna put it back in the case and keep it in the back of my mind when selecting a new box. Maybe we can breathe some life into it again, but I am a bit doubtful. Just putting shit anywhere at this point. Finally, I think we've just got complexion stuff left in here. I'm gonna put Freck XL away. This is actually pretty new to me. I do love a product for fake freckles, and this was kind of the first one that ever went viral. I didn't realize it was sold at Sephora. I basically panicked when I saw it was and just bought it. And boy, was it expensive for this little guy. But I cannot deny that it has become my favorite fake freckle product out there. It just makes really nice and natural looking freckles. It stamps naturally and easily. I like it a lot. It'll probably end up going right into my bag when I'm done cleaning this stuff out. In terms of complexion, I have like 3 concealers, a foundation, a powder, and a color corrector in here. One of the concealers is just my spot treatment concealer, the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This stays in the box most rotations as an as-needed product I hold on to. This is the under eye concealer I was using before getting my newest one. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Glow Concealer. It's a wonderful and hydrating concealer. I quite enjoy it. The new one I got is actually the e.l.f. Soft Glam Concealer, and I also got the light pink color corrector to go with it. These have been my combo recently. I find it's definitely more drying than Butter Glow, but I'm definitely better covered with this little e.l.f. cocktail. It's been working so well that I haven't even been using my KVD Good Apple Balm Foundation here. It's just been a lot of concealer only days for me. So this is just gonna go back. And the powder I have is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. There's absolutely nothing special about this. It's just the powder I've been using, though not really frequently recently because it's winter and I'm already dry enough. Honestly, I'm just not really willing to like experiment with my complexion anymore. I like what I like and I stick with it. All of this stuff will return to the box for now, but I think I have my daily stuff from this category figured out. Finally, we have primers in here, mainly just my eye primer, my Julep Beauty eye primer, and then the L'Oreal Redness Eraser and the Milani SPF BFF. This is the cocktail I use most commonly to prime, but honestly, more often than not, I just use my glossy Future Dew to prime, so these end up taking a backseat to that a lot. Regardless, it's a great mix. The L'Oreal covers my redness in the middle of my face wonderfully, and the Milani is just a nice, hydrating SPF. They'll also return to the box for now. Final product is this little Bray lippy thing. I use this on Thanksgiving, and this is gonna go into the box too, but it is kind of a daily product for me. Okay, I think with the exception of this Vaseline, this Creme Brulee Lip Vaseline, and my pencil sharpener I always keep in the box, we've gone through it all. I'm gonna take a little bit of a breather, because I feel like that was a lot of talking. And we'll resume in a second to pick out a new box and bag of makeup. Okay y'all, welcome back. I think I am ready to select a new box of stuff to focus on over the next month or so, and hope that it revives my desire to play with my makeup a little bit. Before I do though, I do want to point out a few things I'm decluttering from my case directly, in addition to the stuff I already am decluttering coming out of the box, because I tend to reevaluate the stuff every time I pick a new box too, and there's definitely some stuff I can pass on. So for one, I'm going to get rid of this Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer. The color selection on it sucks, and the finish and formula isn't anything really unique to my collection. I also don't like to have more than like 3 under eye concealers at a time. I much prefer my ColourPop, my Physicians Formula, and now my e.l.f. one, so this one is just excess, it can go. I'm also going to trash this old Hydro Grip Eye Primer from Milk. I just don't need it anymore. I don't really know if it ever worked great for me, considering I only really need to prime my eyes with a pigmented thing. And this is also getting to be extremely old. I don't know if it is eye safe anymore, so I will not be needing this anymore. I'm gonna trash this old Nabla Freckle Maker too in exchange for my Freck XL. The packaging on this thing has been broken and leaking for forever, so it's about time I got rid of this, even though it is a good freckle maker too. Trashing this ancient Flower Beauty Luminous Bronzer too. I just don't think I need this when I have my NYX Buttermelt. They're in similar colors, except I feel like the NYX is more buttery and easier to apply. Yeah, this flower bronzer is baked in kind of a marbled formula, so it's less easily applied with a brush. The only good thing about this bronzer is that it's a bit luminous, so that also makes it a very good, like, one and done powder cheek. But I don't know, I just don't think I need this one anymore either. This one's gonna hurt. This one's gonna hurt, but I think I'm gonna be brave and trash one of my Glossier Cloud paints. This is in the color Spark. I know this is bad because it looks like this has barely been used. This red blush just kind of goes really pure pink on me. It's very hard to work with. I bought it because I knew I liked Dawn, the orange one, and I have used that one a whole bunch. The reality is, I just haven't touched the cloud paints in a bit though. It's not really the form factor I tend to go for anymore with blush. I also just don't like Spark, this red, anymore. I much prefer the warmer toned Dawn to this one. The fuck is that noise? Yeah, I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, but yeah, I'm realizing I've only kept Spark because it's a cloud paint. They're expensive and a fairly beloved product. But yeah, the red one just isn't something I'd use now, so I'm gonna pass this along. And finally, I'm gonna trash this primer, my ancient NYX Honeydew Mia. This used to be my absolute favorite primer of all time now, but I'm just not using it anymore. Like I said about the cloud paints, it's a great product with a delivery mechanism I don't prefer. And I already know the primers I use now that work best for my skin. Well, this one used to be one of them. It's just not anymore. It's not worth the effort it takes to put it on, so this guy is gonna go too. I think that's it for decluttering the case. I just wanted to point out the stuff that's leaving my collection before we get started choosing new stuff. So now, let's get to selecting our new box. So like I said in the beginning, the bag is going to be my minimal, everyday, easiest to reach for things, while the box is going to be more of an aspirational collection. Like, it's the stuff I want to reach for in the hopes of just playing around with makeup, or maybe getting ready for an event that could come my way. You never know. I'm choosing stuff for either receptacle with the hopes that I'll use it, but I also don't want a whole ton in either because that in and of itself will discourage me from using my stuff. It also might better inform my decisions to let stuff go if I don't end up using or choosing it for a box. So either way, I'm gonna make an effort to not overload either container and really consider the implications of what I'm putting in and whether or not I see it being useful in the immediate future. Does that make sense? Okay, let's get to choosing. The first thing I think I want to select is my eyeshadow palettes because that can kind of be the driving force, like the North Star of what we select color-wise. The color story of the palettes can inform the decisions we make about the other stuff as we go on, right? So I'm gonna go stare at my eyeshadows until I feel something, then I will return with our palettes selected. Okay, I'm back and I have eyeshadow in tow. So I chose 3 palettes, but I do want to use some other eyeshadow stuff in this rotation, so let's not forget about that stuff. The first palette is this one, the Laura Geller Delectables Baked Eyeshadow Palette. I don't know, you guys, I just love this palette. This is definitely a formula that's good for like softer, more natural looks, kind of like watercolory compared to high pigment stuff. It's just a comfort palette for me for some reason. I love using like these browns to make the exact same look every time. I haven't had this palette in the box in a good while, so this is going to be one option. My second option is going to be Alter Ego Wildwood. This is a slightly more colorful option. I think this palette screams spring, while remaining very wearable. I also think this combo of the neutrals and the yellowy tones is going to be really gorgeous. I'm very excited to dig into this and see what kind of warm looks I can do with it. Finally, I selected one that has never gotten a lot of use in my collection, but I cannot deny that I'm craving these bright tones and shimmers going into the new year. I hope putting this in the box encourages me to actually use it. It is ABH Riviera. This is also an ancient palette, also not a very popular one, so I hope people don't get weirded out by me having this one in and using it. I don't know, man. I think this one is fun. I think it's fine. Like I said, I hope putting it in will encourage me to play with the brights and the shimmers more than I am now, because right now it's matte neutral city for me, baby. And I'm slowly trying to break out of that phase and get back into color in a major way. I hope putting this in will encourage me to do that. So those are my 3 palettes, and those are all gonna go right into the box. But like I said, I'm not quite done with adding eyeshadow stuff to the box or the bag, so let's keep it going. For one, I want to put my Merit Solo shadows in the box, just as a little thing to fall back on in terms of eyes. In the bag though, I think I want to put this little nude stick set, this eye lip set in. This little dude gets like no use, but I love the subtle eye colors I have in this set. There are also a couple lips in here that I want to make sure I rotate into. So I'm going to put this in my bag with the hopes of actually using it more frequently. The Merit shadows and the nude stick set may end up switching places at some point. Like the Merit shadows could end up in the bag and the nude sticks will go in the box. That's if I don't end up using the nude stick set that much and just end up reaching for the solo shadows. In that case, I'll probably end up decluttering the nude stick set, but I'm gonna make an effort to use it here. I'm also gonna throw 2 of my Super Shock shadows back into the box. Probably Dream Much here and Ice Dream. Is this it? No, that's Tassel. Yeah, Dream Much and Ice Dream. These are my iridescent, frosty, winter whimsy sort of colors. I usually use these by themselves, but I want to try adding them onto other full looks to give them more dimension. We'll see if they get used. I'm gonna push myself to see how best I can incorporate these guys into the other stuff I'm choosing, as opposed to just using them as singles like I usually do. I feel like they could be a cool vessel for some seriously whimsical oil slick eyes. Okay, let's just throw a couple easy staples into the bag while we're here. For one, my e.l.f. concealer and pink color corrector are gonna go right into the bag as my daily complexion staples. So is Freck XL. So is the Duty Doll mascara. Considering cheeks a little bit further, honestly, I want to just keep an easy one and done cheek thing in the bag. For me, that could be 3 different cheek products, and they were all in the previous box. One is my NYX Buttermilk Bronzer, one is my Makeup Revolution Blush Balm, and one of them is my Tower 28 Super Dew. I think I'm going to put the Buttermilk in the bag again, because out of all those one and done products for me, I feel like this just works the best for the types of looks I'm going to achieve given these palettes, but also given the reality of my everyday life and what I feel like wearing when I don't want to wear those palettes. I don't know if I showed you, but I even have a tiny bit of pan in the sky, so maybe we can expand it further by putting it in the bag. Let's think about cheeks for the box though, because there are some things I want to consider, but maybe will not end up using. I'm gonna quickly move a little bit around here. I'm gonna quickly open up my 3 palettes of choice and keep their color stories out and visible as a reference to kind of guide the rest of my color choices. Okay, so I think to start, I'm gonna throw my Other Cloud Paint and Dawn into the box. This matte orange is going to complement the warm tones in Wildwood very well, I think, but it can also inform my decision about potentially letting go of this cloud paint too. I've used so much of this guy that I wouldn't feel as bad getting rid of it as I did about Spark, because that one was like barely used for 5 years. I haven't used this guy in a while though, so I might let him go soon too. For now, I'll put Dawn in the box, see if I can use it for some warmer looks. I'm also gonna throw Ritual Defeat Eros blush in there. This is my favorite and most neutral blush product. I feel like I can somehow use this insanely cool toned brown blush for literally anything, like any look, minimal or completely made up. This cream works amazingly for it all, so I definitely want to put that in. I cannot deny that I'm itching to throw this e.l.f. Active Lip and Cheek palette in my bag. This is a very old product that I got unopened recently and that I'm clinging onto for dear life because it's just like the best colors and cream formula I've ever seen at the drugstore. I have had to force myself to put this thing down in exchange for my other stuff, but like, I can't deny that this is just the best product for my daily makeup wearing life now. It's also a cream option for a one cheek product that will complement the powder buttermelt bronzer that's in there very nicely. It's even got a cream highlight in there. Like, yeah, this is just my most utilitarian option for an everyday cream on cheeks or lips. I love it so much, and it is going in the bag. I do want to select at least one powder cheek for the box. So I think I'm gonna make it my Natasha Denona Mini Bloom Blush. This is my favorite powder blush, despite me never really wearing it. It's just a color of pink that I don't really go for on my cheeks frequently, but I do actually love using this on the eyes as a little shimmery salmon moment. I'm gonna put it in the hopes that I get some use out of it, because like, oh my god, the swatch of this blush takes my breath away every time. Also, we don't have a true pink anywhere in our selection yet, so that'll fill that gap nicely. I think it'll go really well with Riviera too. Maybe to complement the pink, I'm also going to throw this Ancient Stila highlighter into the box. This is in the shade Luminescence. It's just a very natural, putty sort of textured highlight. I don't use it very frequently, but I do think it looks absolutely lovely. Let me see if I can... Yeah, that's a bit of a swatch. It's like right there. It's basically just a pinky highlight. I'm gonna throw that in the box and maybe use it in combo with my other cheek stuff to really shine. So that'll be a powder highlight option. Also going into the box will be my e.l.f. Halo Glow Contour Wand that looks kind of gross in the packaging right now. It's still good, I swear. This e.l.f. wand is just my preferred contour product, which is kind of weird because I was always more of a bronzing girl until I got this. Now I've moved from liking bronzer more to preferring contour. It's still not an everyday thing for me, but this does work amazingly for that purpose, so I'm gonna stick it in here in case I need it. Do we want to talk lips? Honestly, I feel like out of all my makeup, my lip products get ignored the most. Always more likely to want to do eyeshadow than I am to wear a lipstick just due to the comfort factor of it, and I've been trying to break out of that habit. Let's choose a few lip products and really challenge ourselves to wear them during this next rotation. And wear them, like, regardless of the makeup-ness of the eyes, you know? So for one, I'm gonna throw the shade Slick from Merit right into the bag. That lip oil in Mapleton is still my jam, like my kind of product for the everyday, and I want to keep it in there. We also have the Lip and Cheek from e.l.f. in the bag too, and the two lipsticks in the nude stick set. Also, this spray lip blur thingy basically just lives in my purse wherever I go, so I'm gonna put it in the bag here, but I think that's all the everyday options I want to give myself. For the rest of the days, let's think a little bit. I think I'm gonna put Clinique Black Honey in the box for one. This is a fairly famous lipstick. I used it obsessively when I first got it for myself and my mother, and it's kind of been living in various purses for a while now. I finally returned it to its place in the case, and I've barely touched it since. So maybe let's throw this in. I feel like it could pair well with the Delectables palette in particular. Let's see. I have like 5 of these NYX Smooth Whip lip creams in here. This is like my favorite matte drugstore formula, and honestly, I feel like I don't use them very frequently, and I'm kind of on the fence about one of these colors. I think I'm gonna stick all of these guys into the box and use them as a base of lip options in the box. they're all mostly nudes and browns, with the exception of Fuzzy Slippers, which is the color that I'm kind of on the fence about. I don't know. We'll see if we can use these more, and if we don't find a use for Fuzzy Slippers at all, I'm probably just gonna get rid of these. Or at least Fuzzy Slippers would be the one I got rid of. Finally, for lips, I want to throw this little Betrayal de Fille lipstick in. It's in the shade Adder's Tongue. This is going to be a fairly vampy, but still very natural looking red for me. This and Black Honey are kind of going to be my safety blanket shades in the box for the days when I don't feel confident enough to wear any of the colors. Okay, I think that's going to do it for lips. I'm not choosing any lip liners because I don't have that many of them, and honestly, I only wear them occasionally. I'd rather search through my case for a lip liner to wear in the moment than get them all out of the box now and feel bad when I inevitably don't end up using them. I will throw a couple Gavisi retro liners in because I always do in case I need them. I'm gonna choose the colors Marigold, which was already in the box, Dark Rose, and Silk Lavender. I think these colors might just be nice little pops against the shadows we choose if we want to do liner in the first place. Like I said, these don't always get used, but it doesn't bother me like it does when I don't use my other things. Liner just isn't an everyday thing for me, and that's okay. I will throw my NYX Epic Smoke liners back into the box, both the brown and the black one, in case I end up needing those. I think that's most of our color cosmetics in place. Let's quickly throw the rest of our complexion stuff where we want it. I'll put my KVD Good Apple Balm into the box. This was a daily wear product for me for a long time, but it's recently been kind of a bridge too far for me in terms of everyday. I'm sure I'll find a use for it again. NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer will go back in. Same with the primers, I'm just gonna keep this exact same primer cocktail in my box. Just know that I still prefer the Glossy Future Dew as my main primer of choice, but that lives in my bathroom. Setting spray I tend to leave out of the box and just use it when I need to. Let's go ahead and organize the palettes back into the box. I'll go ahead and throw my ColourPop powder on top of the box in case I need it. I think with that, we've got everything organized where I want it. Easy everyday stuff is in here. My aspirational stuff to use for events or just during makeup playtime is all in this box. Let me give you guys a better view of everything that's in here without breaking anything. Wow, that was a lot of talking and a lot of thoughts about my makeup. I really hope this video was as watchable and enjoyable for you as it was for me. Talking through this stuff really definitely kind of tickled my itch to play with my makeup again. Like, really relish in the act of putting it on and wearing it and feeling pretty and cool all day. And I don't know if I would have reached that level if I didn't film for you all, so thanks for hanging. As always, let's start conversations in the comments. I hope you all are doing well despite the horrors. And I will go ahead and see you all in another video. Bye for now.